Studnik Aquatics here. It got really warm out today. It is first part of May, and it did get up to about just 87 degrees according to the pickup, and I just had the windows open. I didn't have the central air turned on yet, and like I said before, I haven't had this walk-in humidor throughout the entire summer yet, and the temperature's up to 80 inside. Why wouldn't it be? That's what it is in the house, and my humidity dropped because I actually shut that off for just a little bit. So what I did was I went ahead and closed the windows, I turned the central air on, and I know that if I run central air, it will bring this house down to 72 to 74 degrees is where I keep it. So I thought I'd open this door just to purge some of that warm air out of there, get some cool air in there, and if this continues to be a problem, even with the central air conditioning system on, I may have to put a vent in here, an air conditioning vent, which I can do, because I could run one up from the floor. And I can do that from the basement. I can tie into my existing air conditioning vent ducts and put a vent in. I did that throughout the entire basement myself. I finished the basement all myself, everything. And I went ahead and did that down there. So I could do that, and what I would end up doing was it would be in here on the floor, probably over in this area over here, and I could run it lengthwise. I'd rather not have it in the middle so you can see it from the door. I would rather have it down on this end, and then I could regulate that, and that would give me the cool air I need if it does start to warm up in here a little bit. I'm not sure if I have that central air going and I keep it at 72 to 74 degrees, that should be what the temperature is inside this room at all times. So it's just the first day that got very warm. It's been in the 70s, and it just really warmed up today. So, and I'm not complaining about a nice warm day, but I will have to keep an eye on this, especially this summer. But when I get into the summer, I always run central air, so it shouldn't even be an issue. But I thought I would point that out, make a video of that, and tell you that it did happen, because I made a comment earlier. I had a couple of people leave comments and ask how I regulate the temperature inside of this thing. And as you can see, my humidity is down to 63. So I'm going to go ahead and close that and get that humidification system kicked back on. It'll bring it right back up to 68 to 69, right where I want it. And I'll keep an eye on that temperature, and with the temperature of the entire house dropping down to 72 to 74, that should bring that one down to the same temperature. If it doesn't, I will get some duct work, and I will start putting a vent in this room, so inside of the walk-in humidor. So I'm going to get in here and turn this thing back on. It really won't take it that long to bring it back up to humidity. One of the things I did find out when I researched this, I researched it a lot, is it's very important to open and close the door pretty much every day. When you go to a brick and mortar that has a walk-in humidor, they have customers coming in and out all the time, so the door gets open and closed, so it refreshes the air inside of the walk-in humidor. And one of the problems they say with those walk-ins that are put in homes, a lot of people just collect cigars and they don't actually access their walk-in very often, and that air can get a little stale. You have to keep opening the door. But every morning before I go to work, I open the door, I grab a couple of cigars, I put them in my pocket, I close the door. When I get home from work, I open the door, I pick out a nice cigar, I sit in my chair in my nice little smoking room here, I watch the news, and so therefore my door is getting opened twice a day, and it's working very, very well. I think it's going to work out really well. So far it's worked absolutely perfect. This is the only thing that I had, and I was a little concerned today when it got warm, and I thought, well, I wonder what that temperature is going to be. So it's still sitting at 80, as you can see, but it will drop, and if it does continue to be a problem, I'll pick up a vent and I'll put a vent in there. I might do that anyway, so I have a little easier time regulating that temperature in there. And if I do that, I know throughout the winter it works perfect. I don't have to worry about it at all. It never did get too cold, it never got too hot. Everything was perfect throughout the fall and winter. And it's just the summer and the early spring and summer. So anyway, if I do end up putting a vent in there, which I might put one in just because it might be a good idea, I will do a complete video series on how I do that, how I tie it into my existing ductwork in the basement, how I go up through the ceiling into the floor, and put that in. And so I can do that. So I have had the central air conditioning system running for 24 hours. And now the humidity is 68.9 and the temperature is 74. So it's working very, very well. Very happy with it. I think this is going to work. I don't know if I'll put a vent in or not. We will have to wait and see. So that is my video for today. I think I fixed my problem. And as always, keep smoking cigars.